The varieties of Australian English. 6 key words. Cultivated Australian.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how.
General Australian.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi and how.
Broad Australian.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how.
An example of sophistication.
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how.
Conversations. Cultivated Australian.
We're going on a geology excursion to Yass. There are 17 boys going in 2 Volkswagen station vans, and we plan to sleep at some shearers' quarters in Yass, or near Yass.
And you spend all your spare time looking at rocks, or?
No, we travel around looking at various formations. We look for a few fossils, but it's mainly to look at the Silurian formations in the Yass district.
Supposing you won £10,000, how would you like to spend it?
Oh, sister, there's so many things I'd like to do. I think first I'd buy a beautiful house.
I see.
And if it didn't exceed the £10,000, I'd get a swimming pool.
Oh, yes.
And then, although I doubt it very much if there'd be anything left, I'd start collecting a wardrobe. Oh, beautiful evening gowns and suits. And
yes.
especially shoes, sister. I love them.
Yes.
And I'm not so fond of hats, but I think I'd buy a few just to go in with the suits.
Yes.
And then, I think I'd paint the town red, sister.
Yes? You're fond of red, are you?
Oh, no, sister. Well, that's just a saying for I'd have a really good time.
Cultivated Australian, slightly modified.
Well, at the moment I'm reading Anna Karenina by Tolstoy, and I haven't got very far through it at the moment, but it's very interesting so far.
Really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Sarah read it, it was her prize, wasn't it?
Yes, Sarah read it all through and she thought it was a very good book.
Not disappointed at all.
No, I mean, sort of Anna Karenina is supposed to be one of his masterpieces, and you're led to expect a great deal, but you're not really disappointed.
Read any other of his work?
Yes, in sub-junior I read War and Peace, and I've also read several of his short stories.
What else did you read?
I've started to read Dr. Zhivago, but I sort of haven't had the time to read. I should be doing the homework now instead of reading Anna Karenina.
General Australian.
Well, we train on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons at school, and sometimes Thursdays. And the first method that we use is run around to warm up, and then you shack around for 5 minutes or so and get really warm, and then you do all your exercises, calisthenic work, and then you go on to each individual goes on to his special part of his athletics. Like, I mean, I'm interested in the hop, step and jump, so you go there, get your run and do a few warming up jumps.
Number 17, would you like to say something on this statement that the Australians have beautiful singing voices and ugly speaking voices? Do you think that's true?
Oh, I wouldn't say the speaking voice was ugly at all, but I wouldn't know very much about the singing voice.
Don't you think the Australians ought to be proud of their accent, but some people seem to be rather ashamed of it? Do you think that's right?
I personally am proud of the way I speak, or not so much proud as I don't mind how it sounds.
You certainly think it's more beautiful, say, than an American accent?
Yes.
And what do you think about these English accents?
Somewhat false sometimes they sound.
By Jove, how right you are.
spend very much time up in Brisbane because the rain was coming and we didn't think we'd be able to get back down past Coolangatta and the border, so we thought we'd better leave Brisbane and come down a bit down south.
And what was the weather like in Brisbane?
Oh, it was raining on the first day, but it was quite sunny the day we were leaving. It was very nice.
What do you think was the most exciting thing that happened to you on your trip?
Oh, I went surfboard riding in Coolangatta.
Is it a good beach?
Oh, yes, as good as the Sydney beaches.
And a good surf?
Yes, medium surf.
Had you ever surf-ridden before?
No.
And again?
It was fun. I suppose I'd do it again if I had a go at it.
If I won the lottery, I think I would put half of the money in the bank.
A good idea.
And then I think I'd like to travel around the world, see what the other places are like, and see how the other people live, and the comparisons I'd make, and see which country I'd like the best. I'd probably end up liking Australia the best, though, out of the lot.
I see. And anything else you would like to do with your money if you won?
Not that I can think of now.
You wouldn't, well, I suppose you'd help your family and so on too, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, I'd help Mum and Dad and get
Yes.
a nice home for them and settle them down.
I see.
That's if I was old and that, you know.
Broad Australian.
Polo cross is a mixture of lacrosse, netball and polo. The idea of polo cross is to bounce or catch or pick up off the ground a small rubber ball, and the idea is there are 6 players on each team, but only 3 players out of the team go on the field at once. When these 3 finish their chukker, which lasts for 8 minutes, the other half of the team come onto the field and they play another 8 minutes. Then the first section goes back on again, and then the other section goes on after them. There is usually 4 chukkers, but often there is 6 chukkers for a final. The idea is that one of the members of the team picks the ball up and tries to pass it to the attacking player over a line which is known as the 30 yards line, because it is 30 yards from the back of the field.
And another funny thing about him is that you can never take him to a playroom. Unless he sees you, he will not come home. He'll start the place. And the other day my sister took him up to the butcher's and she came home and he didn't see her come home. He sat up there for an hour waiting for her to come out.
John, I've always, or in joke, called you St. John. Why have I done this?
Well, most probably because I belong to St. John Ambulance Brigade and have been in there 7 years so far.
And what types of jobs have you been on in connection with your ambulance work?
Oh, football, speedway, and well, marching girl displays. I enjoy that most of all.
I imagine you would, too. And have you ever had to go as far as treating any of these marching girls?
My word, yes, I enjoyed that.
Some diaphones of O found chiefly in South Australia.
No, everything seemed to be running quite smoothly, although once or twice there was last-minute rushes to get things done.
And did the lilies stay upright all right? We were afraid that the curtain would take them over.
Yes, they were quite all right. They were a bit dead, though. They were the only ones we could get. We looked everywhere for them. In the long run, you do keep the friends that you've made at school for a long time, and you always feel as though they are your friends. Not that I've had any experience, but I should think this is so. And they come from as far away as New Guinea and Borneo.
There is an upstairs gallery where the overflow goes when there's too many people to sit on the floor.
Resonance, elision and assimilation.
Number 19. Could you tell me some interesting ways by which you spend your holidays?
Or go home to my home in the country and work and go riding, go rabbiting, shooting and that. And, mucking me and that.
What kind of country is it where you are?
Oh, it's got a rainfall of about 13 inches a year, and some of it's irrigated. It's in the Murray Valley, in the Riverina, and a lot of it's not irrigated. Some of it's a lot of forest country around here, and a lot of station country. Some of it's dairying right near the river, and other kinds of grazing and that.
And would the dairy products go as far as the capital cities, or are they used locally?
The dairy product, there's a butter factory there, and dairy products are sent in there where they're made into butter, and that is, some of it's supplied around the district.
An example of a narrow pitch range.
Number 11. I'll tell you something about my horse. We got him about last Christmas, and he's black with the white down his forehead. He's 11 hands. We had him in the show last year and got a couple of ribbons.
What sort of thing?
Oh, his father was an Arab stallion, and his mother was a
thoroughbred? Well, tell us how you grew him.
Oh, well, when the show time comes around, we put him in the hacks, and Gary rides him in the different age groups. We wash, when we groom him, we wash him down and with soapy water, and that gets the dirt out of him usually. And you wash his mane and tail, and you plait him, and that makes them wavy. And clip your fence lock and on your front and back legs, and paint your hooves with Stockholm tar to give him a better appearance.
An example of contextual nasality.
As you know, the price of opals these days is very high, and just lately there's been two very big opals found. One down in South Australia is worth many thousands of pounds. At Lightning Ridge, opals are mined to a small extent, but the quality is very high. It is mostly done by hand, and shafts are driven into the ground by pick and shovel into sandstone.
An example of pervasive nasality.
Oh, well, it's not much different, really. It's hilly country. The people around here seem different to those that I left. I suppose it's because you've known them for a long time, but they seem a lot more friendly than the people that I used to know.
Oh, that's quite interesting, because people say that they're very friendly here, so they must be very friendly where you came from. What about their sporting interests and so on in the winter time?
Oh, I like the football, yeah.
Did you do any skiing?
Oh, no, I didn't. We used to go up to the snow, but I never had to go at the skiing. No.
Well, thank you. Will you read these words and sentences?
Beat, boot, say, so, hi, how. Let's pick a good spot near the water and pass the morning surfing and relaxing in the sun. The plane flew low over the runway, then increased speed and circled the aerodrome a second time.
An example of fast speech.
What chance do you think they've got of winning this year?
I think they've got a good chance of winning this year.
Why?
Oh, they've got quite a number of good players that are just into the club. It's expanding pretty rapidly.
Is this the first year you've played with them?
Juniors with them last year and the year before, but this is a B grade with them.
Which grade are you in?
Oh, and yesterday I had a bit of a run with the league, but I don't think I'll stay there very long.
A speaker with irregular bursts of rapid utterance.
Now, Bob, I saw you playing football the other day. You're very keen on it?
Yes.
Where do you play normally?
Well, anywhere in the back line, mainly in the centres.
Why do you play in the back line?
Well, not so much work to do there. Get more of the ball.
What don't you like about the forwards as well as those things, do you know?
Well, on the forwards you get dumped round too much.
In this back line work, have you got much speed?
Well, I haven't got much speed. Just try to use a bit of skill out there.
On this dumping business, I saw you dumping a few people the other day. Could you explain that?
Well, sometimes it comes off and sometimes it doesn't. The main thing is the sidestep as soon as you dump it.
What do you think of the characteristics of a good back?
Well, it should be able to sidestep, good swerve, plenty of speed, and use his head.
An example of slow speech.
Well, tennis is the most interesting sport. I find it a very good game. But at school here, we don't play a terrible lot except on Thursday afternoons, and then we only get one set in. Well, it isn't very good for improving the tennis.
A blend of Australian characteristics.
I live on a cattle station some distance outside here, and I take quite an interest in the station work and would like to go onto the station after I leave school, but I think that is rather impossible, as my father doesn't believe in women working on cattle stations. We have quite a large station. In fact, for my last 17th birthday, my father bought me a Cessna plane, and we used it to fly around the station. I flew to school about a week after I got it, but this caused rather a sensation, so I was asked not to do it again. I landed on the playing field and gave the staff quite a fright.